Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS Current Affair Analysis for 25th of April 2020, and these are the articles we'll be dealing today. The first article for the day is taken from the Hindu and it is titled Joining of Jains. So this is about the 43,574 crores worth of investment of Facebook in Reliance Jio. So Facebook happens to be the largest social media platform and Reliance Jio is the leading market leader when it comes to telecom sector in our country. So apart from this deal, there was also a agreement that Reliance Retail can use WhatsApp to boost the JioMart platform, which is an e-commerce platform coming up. So in July 2019, Facebook invested in a company called Meesho. So even this is a social commerce company that connects buyers and sellers on social media, just like how Amazon is doing it. So the plan with JioMart focuses on connecting Kirana stores to the customers. So what does this investment mean for Reliance Jio? So Facebook also owns WhatsApp and Instagram. Basically the business model here we're talking about is user data itself. Now apart from this, you also have a better balance sheet in these times of stress. So for Facebook it means that it has access to over 370 million Jio subscribers. A partnership with one of the largest India's technological companies, and also you can enter into various cloud storage through Jio Cloud. You can also enter into a digital entertainment through Jio TV and Jio Cinema. You can also enter into payments ecosystem through MyJio. So all the platforms that Jio is a part of can now be utilized or leveraged by Facebook. So it is a win-win situation for both of them. Now in this strategic investment and strategic partnership scenario, what will India gain? That is the point that this article is trying to raise. Basically, telecom sector in India is very heavily regulated. So as such, this investment in Jio platforms may give Facebook access to 5G technology that the next telecom revolution is all about, and it also gets the telecom infrastructure that it needs. While sufficiently being insulated from the regulatory scrutiny and compliances that telecom sector is usually associated with, Facebook can actually get its business done. That is the strategic partnership, because Jio will take care of all the telecom related regulatory compliance and Facebook just has to come and invest its technological prowess in this company. Apart from all this, one of the most important point that we have to note is this is the highest FDI in technological sector in our country. So we can consider this to be an example of the potential that we carry as Indians in the technological sector for the future. Secondly, there is a talk that it will also help the course of Digital India vision for the Indian government as well, because with the kind of penetration that Jio has and the issues that Kirana shop owners are losing their businesses because of big e-commerce giants like Amazon is also addressed with this move. So how it will actually pan out, what will be the kind of implications and problems, only time will be able to tell us that. But as far as the present situation is concerned, we can treat this as a positive sign, because India is suffering from a lot of investor confidence issues even before the COVID-19 crisis. This investment will actually bring in a whole lot of new startups that will be investing in technological sector, hopefully. That is the gist of this article. The next article for the day is taken from Indian Express and it is titled Uddhav's nomination to council. What are the issues in the constitution? What is the role of governor? So the Maharashtra government led by CM Uddhav Thackeray may face a political crisis because time is running out for him. The Shiva Sena chief has to become a member of either the Legislative Assembly or the Legislative Council before he completes 6 months. This is the constitutional provision. If a particular CM wants to continue in his post, he should either become a member of the Legislative Council or member of the Legislative Assembly. So the Mahavikas Aghadi, the alliance between Shiva Sena, the Congress and the Nationalist Congress Party is concerned that Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari is yet to respond to the Cabinet's recommendation for nominating the CM to the Legislative Council, which was sent on 11th of April. So the decision to nominate Thackeray as a member of the council was taken by the alliance, as the election commission had put all polls on hold in view of the pandemic. So in the view of the present pandemic that is raging across the state, is it possible for Uddhav Thackeray to continue as the chief minister even beyond the stipulated 6 months? That is the question that is being raised now. So if we have to look at the previous Supreme Court cases, we have the S.R. Chaudhary vs. State of Punjab case, where it has been explicitly mentioned by the Supreme Court that it would be totally unconstitutional for a person to continue even beyond the stipulated amount of 6 consecutive months. So Article 171 Clause 5 says that the governor can nominate any person who has special knowledge in certain fields. What are those fields? Literature, science, arts, cooperative movements and social service. At the central level, we had a controversy with respect to appointment of ex-CJI, Mr. Gogoi, as the member of Rajya Sabha, because he did not meet any of the criteria that a person should be fulfilling to be nominated by the president. Yet they went ahead with his nomination. But as far as Thackeray is concerned, he is a wildlife photographer, so he can fulfill any of the criteria. And according to the case in High Court, where the Allahabad High Court ruled that politics can also be seen as social service, so he will be fulfilling both these criteria. So the role of the governor in this present context is being debated right now. Actually, the governor can nominate 2 persons. So the Legislative Council seats and the governor's quota are presently vacant in Maharashtra. So the terms of these vacancies would be ending on June 6, and a fresh appointment can be made only after the remainder of the term for this. So he has to take the seat before 27th of May, and the seats would be getting vacant by June 6th. Also, according to section 151A of RPA 1951, it prohibits the filling of vacancy if the remainder of the term is less than 1 year. So, however, this cannot be used as a reason by governor to refuse this nomination, because the upper limit or the bar is in the respect of by-election to fill a vacancy, but not the nomination. So the governor could argue that he is not obligated under the constitution to act swiftly in the advice of the Council of Ministers. That is one more roadblock for Uddhav Thackeray to continue as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. But the real question that the governor should be considering is the fact that the present state of our country. Do the people of Maharashtra really deserve an unstable and very weak government in these times of pandemic? That is the question that governor must always have in the back of his mind while taking any decision. So the question of discretion shall come, but there are also questions about what the limits to the governor's discretion in nominations would be like. If you want to take a look at what Calcutta's High Court says in this aspect, in a case called the Biman Chandra Bose vs. H.C. Mukherjee in 1952 itself, the Calcutta High Court rejected the plea that none of the 9 nominated members to the legislature fulfilled the required criteria, and the governor cannot use his discretionary powers. So we also have the Article 163 Clause 1, which says that the governor must follow the recommendations of Council of Ministers in all situations. However, there is one exception in the article itself, except in the condition that under this constitution there is some requirement to exercise his functions or any of them in his own discretion. So Article 163 Clause 1 is about the discretionary powers of the governor. So the conclusion is this: even though there are certain discretionary powers to the governor, there are well established conventions that the governor must not transgress during these times of pandemic. That is the gist of this article. That's it for the day. Thank you.